Everyone, Matthew Robinson back again, and I'm here to talk about the new shows that are coming to television this fall, 2010. So, there are a lot of shows, that come out, and most of them get canceled. Most shows get canceled, they don't get canceled within the first year. They end up canceled eventually. But now we're talking about the new shows for 2010. A lot of people in the running, a lot of shows that probably won't make it. Now I'm going to tell you shows that I'm definitely going to watch, I may watch, and that I'm definitely not going to watch. And you can make your own decisions. These aren't all the shows. Obviously, there are so many out there, but these are just the ones that caught my attention. Okay, let's start with the shows that I might be watching. I might be watching NBC's The Event. There's been a lot of press about this show. There's a couple things that make me want to see this show, and then there are a couple things that make me not want to watch this show. The first thing that makes me want to watch the show is it looks interesting, it looks exciting, it looks like it has nice production values, it looks like they're trying something different here, a mystery, and I love mysteries, I'm a sucker for mysteries, and they're trying something cool here. I'm a little weary because of Heroes, which started off great, and then got really terrible, and Lost, which started off great, and let's admit it had some pretty bad slumps, and I am still not completely satisfied with the final season, and the series finale in particular. So, we have a show that could possibly go haywire. That being said, the creators have said this is not a Lost or a Heroes, that they have a very clear objective in mind, and that they know each step they're going to take. It'll be interesting to see if this works. I don't know, but it could. And I'm willing to give it a shot. I probably will watch the season premiere, or series premiere, and if it doesn't really get me within one or two episodes, I'm probably not going to continue watching it. We have Law & Order Los Angeles. It's also another NBC show. It's a Law & Order show. I mean, you kind of know what you're going to get. It's Law & Order. It'll really largely depend on the cast, and the people who created the show have said this is going to be a little bit more comedic than some other Law & Orders, so it'll be interesting to see where they take that. I'm in Los Angeles now, so it'll be interesting to see. I don't think this show is going to be nearly as good as something that, say, Southland, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Mike and Molly, it's about two overweight people who meet at an Overeaters Anonymous, and then kind of have this instant attraction. I believe that's going to be appearing on CBS, and it could be interesting. You don't see usually in television two overweight people falling in love. Usually it's one overweight person falling in love with someone who's out of their league or skinny, who we consider out of their league. So it'll be interesting to see when the couple is both overweight and their attraction and what that kind of relationship is like. It could be a funny show. No Ordinary Family, Michael Chiklis is in this. This is basically The Incredibles turned live action, but it could be interesting. Again, sour taste in my mouth after Heroes, but I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm hoping that it'll go more this Unbreakable route, which I was hoping Heroes would go. Unbreakable, Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson, but No Ordinary Family, I'm willing to give it a shot. Okay, Outsourced is another NBC comedy. It seems like it's going to go on the same vein as like Community meets The Office, but it's like going to be in India. And this show, for all intents and purposes, seems funny enough, like that'll be okay. I'm worried it's going to rely too heavily on stereotypes of Indian people, which is kind of already well handled in the Community show with Abed. So is there going to be able to make a whole show about this? And they could, in essence. I also have a problem with the fact that it's a white guy who's the main character. I'd much rather watch this show, or rather be interested in this show, if the main character was an Indian guy. And let me guess, the white dude's going to fall in love with this incredibly hot Indian woman. And she, of course, does not have any liking for Indian men. And they get together. I mean, you kind of know where the show's going already, and it hasn't even come out yet. And that's one of the reasons I'm not sure if I'll be watching it, but I might give it a shot. Okay, the other one's called Running Wild, W-I-L-D-E. It stars Will Arnett and Carrie Russell. And it's about this guy who goes for his childhood sweetheart, who's now this humanitarian liberal. And he's obviously not that. He's kind of a self-centered guy, but he has to pretend like he's something he's not to get this girl. And I put this in May because Will Arnett's very funny. And this is going to be on Fox, I believe. But the problem I have with this show is that it really shouldn't be a TV show. It should be a movie. Because honestly, I can't see how they're going to keep this going for so long. I mean, for me, I think when you create a TV show, One, you shouldn't have run it to the ground like NBC is planning to do with The Office, continuing the show even after Steve Carell left, which I just think is the stupidest idea in the world. But then again, this is NBC. They've been known to make pretty stupid decisions. And that's no offense. If they ever offer me a job, I'd hop on it. But at the same time, let's be honest, creative-wise, there's a reason they're in 4th place in the ratings. And it's a shame, because they do make some good shows. The thing is here, it just seems like a movie. I think, like, there are some shows that should only be about 2 or 3 seasons, and that are good shows, and should just limit themselves, be a limited series. Like V, I think V should just be like 2 seasons, maybe 3 if you really find a way to stretch it out. But this seems like it should be a movie. But Will-O-The-Rap's funny, so I might give it a shot. Never really cared much for Kerry Russell. Didn't really get The Waitress. That was like her big movie recently. I didn't understand why that was such a big movie, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, now these are shows that I'm very interested in seeing. I want to see Boardwalk Empire, which is coming out on HBO. HBO usually makes some pretty interesting stuff, and stars Steve Buscemi as a kind of like this good guy, bad guy during the 1920s, during Prohibition, who has this kind of boardwalk empire. And that should be cool, gritty. And Martin Scorsese is tagged along with the project, so it's going to be cool in some way or another. And then there's Executive, my dad says. It's starring William Shatner and Nicole Sullivan, so that's a good cast. It's William Shatner's first sitcom, and it's also based off, believe it or not, a Twitter feed. That's right, a Twitter feed. So this is like, for someone who is trying to get his name out there with YouTube and Facebook and blogs, this is pretty inspiring to see a Twitter feed become a whole big CBS sitcom. So I want to see that show. It sounds like it could be funny. Undercover's coming to NBC. This show looks cool. I was hooked. Like, I want to see that show as soon as it happens. Yes, part of it is because it is an African American leads to an African American male and an African American woman. But it just looks like a cool show. J.J. Abrams, even though lost, he's created it. So I'm pretty interested to see where it goes. It could be interesting. It looks like it's going to be a little bit more serious version. It's like a more serious spy show compared to NBC's Chuck. And NBC's Chuck's an okay show, but I'm just saying this looks like it's going to be a little bit more serious, though still tongue-in-cheek. Okay, then there's also Raising Hope that comes on Fox. It's a sitcom or a comedy, dramedy, really, about a single dad who has to now raise a kid. You don't really see that a lot about a single dad and having a one-night stand and being stuck with a kid, so that could be funny. And it stars Lucas Neff, who was one of the bad Terminators, one of the main Terminators in the Connor Chronicles, Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles. So I want to see what he can do in this situation. I liked him in that role, and hopefully I'll like him here. I'm very interested in that show. Shows I'm not interested in. I'm just going to run through these real quick. Better With You, ABC show, doesn't seem very interesting at all. Chase on NBC just seems, I don't know, whatever. Body of Proof, a generic, very generic, I'm going to do this autopsy on this person, another generic crime drama about, autopsy, crime scene investigation. Franklin and Bash, just another show on TNT, it's another one of those legal shows. Whole Truth, another legal show, even worse, it was even more generic. Y50, they should not remake that show, I don't know what they're thinking. Hellcats is a CW show, that's all you pretty much need to know. Lone Star, not interesting, even though John Voight's in it. My Generation, it seems like it's going to be pretentious, it's going to tell people stuff we already know, and it looks like it's going to be a bore. Nikita, shouldn't remake a show, and it's going to be on the CW, so that's a double whammy of terribleness. Okay, that's it, guys. That's my fall preview. What do you think about some shows? Shows you're interested in, shows you're not interested in, shows you are kind of on the fence about? Let me know in the comment box below. Also check out my Twitter, my blog, that kind of stuff. Also, how do you guys feel about the mustache? It's coming in now a little bit. Rate, comment, subscribe. Until next time, please remember, it's all there.